Retail Week is brought to you by Nutrisphere N, Nitrogen Fertilizer Manager, protecting your nitrogen from all three forms of loss. Welcome again to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. Back together with Eric Sfiligoj here. And of course, it being, by the time you're seeing this, it all could be over, which is really pretty depressing.
Sad, yes.
But assuming we can pull off one of two wins, at least this thing will be continuing to go. We've got our Cavaliers garb on and rooting, as we say, defend the land or Cleveland against the world, whatever you choose your term of choice. But we're going to go down swinging as best as we can. So
sounds like our day job.
Wow, is that a statement about me? Oof. So we got a couple of things coming up this summer. We're getting ready for the MAGIE conference in Illinois.
Absolutely.
This will be the 10th year. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years that we're kind of engaged with the folks at IFCA to promote the show. Of course, done a wonderful job. Jean Payne, since she came on board, it was always a good show, but it really turned into a great show with more beef in terms of the stewardship aspect of it, in terms of training and so forth that's going on there, along with all the great displays and exhibits. A lot more excitement that's continued to build over the past decade. So we're pleased to continue to be involved in that, and maybe you say a few words about some of the things that we're collecting material-wise for that.
Sure. Yeah, as the official media partner for with IFCA at the MAGIE show, we are collecting information on what the exhibitors are going to be having at the show, Paul. And I know I sent out a note to a lot of the folks about a month ago asking them to send us information, and you can do so still. About another week or so, I'll be collecting information on what you're planning, if you're going to be at MAGIE, to show to the visitors who are going to be there. You can send those to me at erics, E-R-I-C-S, at croplife.com. And like I said, I'll be collecting those through June 12th or 13th, so please get that information to me along with some photographs. I would appreciate that. And Paul, I'll say this, I know that having attended about 20 MAGIEs now going back, this year it looks like there's going to be a lot of excitement. I know that I've already heard from folks there's going to be, looks like 3 or 4 new sprayers introduced at the show, a couple new tenders and spreaders perhaps. So I've got to say that I know the past few years the new product introductions have been few and far between, but looks like this year will be the most active on that front in about 5 or 6 years.
Terrific. We'll look forward to seeing that, and more news after the break.
Over the 9+ years, they've done over 400 trials, side-by-side replicated trials, and we've shown that 90% of the time we've had a positive yield response with Nutrisphere. So 90% of the time a crop producer out of those 400+ trials could expect a positive response. That positive response is average 10 bushel an acre across all 400+ trials.
Well, welcome back. Earlier this week, which is actually today in our world right now, President Trump is down in Cincinnati talking about infrastructure, and certainly it's something that we've been talking about a lot. Infrastructure being a huge, really a huge difference maker for the U.S. in terms of being competitive globally, and waterways, which specifically the Fertilizer Institute I know is interested in, was and there will be a Fertilizer Institute representative, as my understanding, at the Cincinnati event. It's great that agriculture's out there and we've got the administration's here, because so much of the transport goes via waterway.
Yeah, that's right, Paul. I know according to TFI, I wasn't aware that 33% of the nation's fertilizer moves via water. So that's about 13 million tons per year. So next time you folks are driving by a barge filled with fertilizer going up and down your local river, just keep in mind that it's about a third of the nation's product moves that way. So
Absolutely. So what else is going on?
that's about it.
That's about it? Wow. Well, good luck in finishing up the rest of your work here in the spring. I know it's been a challenge for some folks in with rain-soaked areas. I mean, especially here in Ohio. But I think we're wrapping that up. I'm going down to Ohio State tomorrow to see John Fulton. I know they're doing some experiments with corn and soybeans, trying to find more ways to extract value out of the data that folks are collecting, and I'll find out a little bit more about what's going on there. And John will be, I should mention, a key presenter at our Innovation Series meeting on August 28th. You can find more information out about that at precisionaginnovation.com. It's going to be a really interesting, compelling show, really focused very much on extracting value from those key services that you guys rely on. So it'll be interesting. Appreciate you joining us. That's it for this edition of Retail Week, and we will see you next week. Thank you to this week's video sponsor, Nutrisphere N Fertilizer Manager from Verdesian Life Sciences.